There are 3 islands in this video. You can find all 3 on Google Maps. You can see their coastlines, their beaches, their interiors. You cannot go to any of them. The first is a small island off the coast of Scotland. The British government tested anthrax there in 1942. They declared it safe in 1990. Some scientists believe that declaration was premature. The second is an island in Central Asia. The Soviet Union stored its most dangerous biological weapons there. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, those weapons were abandoned. Nobody cleaned them up. The third is an island just off the coast of New York. The United States government ran a research facility there for 70 years. It was closed in 2023. The facility was sold to a private university. The classified research files were not transferred with it. 3 islands, 3 governments, 3 different kinds of biological danger. One thing in common: every one of them was created deliberately. The documents exist. The science exists. The contamination exists. What doesn't exist are the answers. In the next 11 minutes, I am going to show you 3 things. First, what the British government did to Gruinard Island in 1942, what they used, what they left behind, and why the 1990 all clear may not mean what they said it did. Second, the Soviet biological weapons island in the Aral Sea, abandoned in 1991 with its contents inside, and what happened when the sea dried up and that island became accessible land. And third, Plum Island, New York. 70 years of classified U.S. research, closed in 2023, sold to a private university. The research files kept by the government. The public still told almost nothing about what happened there. Gruinard Island, Scotland's island of death. The horror is in the mundane details. Gruinard Island, a small uninhabited island off the northwest coast of Scotland, approximately 2 kilometers long, visible from the mainland on a clear day. In 1942, the British government chose it for an experiment. The question they wanted to answer: could anthrax spores be effectively deployed as a weapon from aircraft against a ground target? The experiment was called Operation Vegetarian. Scientists from Porton Down, the British military research facility, traveled to Gruinard. They brought sheep. They brought anthrax bombs. They detonated the bombs. The sheep died within days. The experiment was considered a success. The island was sealed. Entry prohibited. Warning signs posted on the shore. For the next 48 years, in 1986, the British government began decontamination. They sprayed the island with 280 tons of formaldehyde solution, mixed with seawater. They removed the top layer of soil in the most contaminated areas. They monitored. They tested. In 1990, a junior government minister traveled to the island. He planted a flag. He declared it safe. Some scientists did not agree. Anthrax spores are among the most persistent biological agents in existence. They can survive in soil for decades. Some estimates say over a century. The decontamination process used in 1986 had never been tested at this scale. On this type of terrain, in this climate, the island has no permanent residents. Visits are technically permitted. No systematic independent scientific testing has been conducted since 1990. The British government says it is safe. Nobody has comprehensively verified that claim.
Vozrozhdenie Island, the Soviet bioweapons dump. Vozrozhdenie Island. The name means Renaissance Island in Russian. It is located in what was once the Aral Sea between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. From the 1930s onward, the Soviet Union used it as a testing ground for biological weapons. Not a rumor, not a theory. Confirmed by Soviet defectors, confirmed by US and Kazakh government investigations. Confirmed by scientific surveys. What was tested and stored here? Anthrax, plague, tularemia, brucellosis, Q fever, smallpox, the last smallpox on the island. Was deposited in the early 1990s. Officially, smallpox has been eradicated. Officially, the only surviving samples are held in 2 secure facilities. One in the United States, one in Russia. What was buried on Vozrozhdenie was not officially acknowledged. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, the facility on Vozrozhdenie was abandoned. The personnel left. The equipment was left behind, the weapons were left behind. No systematic decontamination was performed. No international monitoring was established. Nothing. Now here is the part that makes this more than history. The Aral Sea has been dying. Since the 1960s, Soviet irrigation projects have diverted the rivers that fed it. The sea has shrunk by more than 90%. What was once an island is no longer surrounded by water. Vozrozhdenie is now connected to the mainland. You can walk there. In the late 1990s, US and Uzbek teams visited the site. They found anthrax-contaminated soil at multiple locations. They found biological weapons containers. They neutralized what they could find. They described their work as incomplete. Nobody has returned for a comprehensive survey since. The area is remote. It is not fenced, it is not monitored. A biological weapons dump, from the most ambitious bioweapons program in history, is now reachable by foot. In a region of the world, where the local population knows very little about what is there. Plum Island, America's secret research island. The present-day angle makes this the most urgent segment. Plum Island. 1.5 kilometers off the northeastern tip of Long Island, New York. On a clear day, you can see it from Orient Point. The ferry that would take you there does not exist. The US government has operated a research facility on Plum Island since 1954. Originally under the US Army Biological Warfare Laboratory. Later transferred to the Department of Agriculture. Officially, the research there focused on diseases that affect livestock. Foot and mouth disease, African swine fever. Foreign animal diseases. The facility was classified as a Biosafety Level 3 laboratory. One level below the maximum containment level. Over 70 years, investigations, allegations, and academic studies raised questions about what was really researched there. Not just livestock disease. The proximity of Plum Island to Lyme, Connecticut. The first documented outbreak of Lyme disease occurred there in 1975. The connection has been disputed by scientists. It has never been definitively ruled out. In 2009, the Department of Homeland Security announced Plum Island would be closed. The research would move to a new facility in Manhattan, Kansas. The process took 14 years. In 2023, the government sold Plum Island. The buyer, Doris Duke Charitable Foundation. In partnership with several conservation organizations, the plan, converted to a nature preserve. The classified research files from 70 years of operation were not transferred with the property. The government retains them. Their contents remain largely classified. Public records requests have returned heavily redacted documents. What was researched on Plum Island for 70 years? The government says, animal diseases. The full picture remains classified.
3 islands. 3 governments. 3 different official stories. Gruinard, we cleaned it up. It is safe.
Nobody has independently verified that. Vozrozhdenie, the Soviet program ended, we did what we could. The weapons are still there, accessible on foot. Plum Island, it was just animal disease research. The files that could confirm that are classified. Here is the pattern. A government creates a biological danger zone, the program ends. The danger remains. An official declaration says, "It is resolved." The evidence that would let you verify that declaration is classified. And the island sits there. On Google Maps, visible to everyone, accessible to no one. Here is what I keep thinking about. These 3 islands are the ones we know about. The ones where the history leaked out, where the whistleblowers spoke. Where the documents were eventually declassified. How many islands don't have a Wikipedia page yet?
Right now, somewhere over the United States, a plane is flying in circles. It has 112 people on board, and the targeting codes for 1,700 nuclear warheads. It has never landed, not once, in over 50 years. Watch, Always Airborne,